Hello, this is a tutorial on how to use the zebrafish tracking program that I made. So the movie here is of 6-day-old larvae, and you can see that they swim and stop, and each one of those is called a scoot. So the program will track each fish even if they collide and measure the distance of each scoot. And so I'm going to use a Microsoft LiveCam Studio, but you can use any webcam that you want. And also, nakeds on the bottom are the best fish to use because there's less noise and the program will track their eyes. So the first thing to do is to go to the link that I've provided, and it's a link to my Google Drive, and you can download the file called ZTrack.zip, and we can wait for that to finish. So once that's done, open up ZTrack.zip, and you'll see that there's a folder contained within. So if you just drag that to anywhere that you want, then it will extract and you'll be left with the folder. And so you can now delete ztrack.zip. So let's open the folder up and find a file called ztrack.exe. And so if you double click on this, then that will open up the program, but I'm just going to create a shortcut to it on my desktop. And also, Live v108 is just the code that the program is made up of. So if you want to take a look, then you can, but you don't have to. So I'm just going to rename the shortcut, and I'll open it up in a second. Here we go. And so now this is the program. This is the console. Any errors will appear here, and if errors do appear, then let me know. And depending on the webcam that you have, it might not be HD, or it might not record at certain resolutions or frame rates, so you can change those settings here. And so what I'm doing now is adjusting the region of interest that you'll be able to see. And so you can change the resolution to anything that you want it to be, as you're seeing here. The thing that I'm recording is a piece of paper with 4 dots because I don't have any zebrafish at home. And now that the adjustments are made, I'm going to go and press display threshold, and that will show the thresholded view. So you can see the 4 dots, but there's a little bit of noise at the top, and you can get rid of that by changing the adaptive value to something that's suitable. Now display contours, and I'm just playing with the minimum area that each recognized object can be. So if you press set scale, then you can measure the distance, and I measured it's about 20 millimeters for that green line. The values at the bottom will change the scoot parameters. So if you have older fish, then you might want to increase the maximum scoot distance, but the default values are good for 6 to 7-day-old larvae. And so what I'm going to do now is create a folder called demo, and all of our data will go into this demo folder. So if you press select folder and then find the folder that you're looking to put all the data into, then that's it. That's all you need to do. And so the next thing I'm doing is changing the phase time to, let's say, 20 seconds. And that's all you really need to do. I'm going to press start next phase, and this will start the recording. I'm moving the paddle around, and you can change the views to say threshold or contours while the recording is happening, and it'll finish up in about 4 seconds. Okay, it's done. Once the recording is finished, you can see a virtual representation of it by using this slider here at the bottom. And I just realized that something I didn't show was the inner ROI, which can be used to exclude scoots near the edge of a container because they may be different from normal scoots. So any scoots outside of this rectangle will have a little tag saying that they're outside. And if you look closely, you can see that the dots inside are green and the dots outside are red. So we're just going to start the next phase. You can do as many phases as you want, and they can be any lengths of time that you want them to be. So you can make them 2 hours, for example. I've done that before. And I just press Start Analysis, so this will analyze all of the data that the program has collected so far. But even if you pressed it accidentally, you can say start the next phase. You can press start the next phase right now if you wanted to, or you could change these scoop parameters and then press start analysis again, and it's just going to reanalyze the data using the new scoop parameters and the new phases that were added on to the previous phases. And so once that's finished, I'll open up the demo folder and we can see what data is inside. A new folder has been created that has the date and time. And so we'll start at XY data. These are the individual positions of each dot, basically. Scoop parameters are the scoop parameters that were inputted, the 4 parameters. Settings are the settings that were used. Scoots mixed is a mixture of all of the scoots inside and outside of the ROI. So you can see true and false. True means inside the ROI, false means outside. And it'll give you the time and the distance of each scoot for each fish. Scoots inner ROI are just the scoots inside the inner ROI. Raw video is just a video of recording of the phase, of each phase. Path composite are the paths that each fish took. And if you reanalyze all of the data, like I'm going to do now, then each fish will be assigned a different color. So all of the files will be deleted and then recreated again, and each fish will have a new color. We'll just wait for that to finish. There we go. And so as you can see, each fish now has a different color, and it will have a different color in the graphs that I'm about to show. These graphs here are of scoot distance versus time, and you can see that because each of the 4 points were joined on a piece of paper, they have relatively the same scoot distances, and the last one is distance versus scoot number. So that's pretty much how you use the program and all of the outputs of the program. You can close the program by closing the console. And the last thing to show is, so let's say that you've recorded everything, you've closed the program, but 2 days later you want to change the scoop parameters. So the way to do that is to import the XY coordinates file of the recording that you chose, and so you can do it by following the prompts here. So you just find the XY data coordinates, then you find the settings file, like so, and you press start analysis, and it just reanalyzes everything with the scoop parameters that you just inputted just before. So those 4 sliders at the bottom will control the scoop parameters. And so that's pretty much it. And you can see, or might not be able to see, that when a fish is scooting, then it's green, and when it stops, it's red. And that's how you'll be able to know that the scoop parameters you used are correct. And so the new files will be created wherever you specified their location. So that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have fun using the program.